ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನ ಬಸವೇಶ್ವರ ನಗರದಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಲಾ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನಲ್ಲಿ 2 ದಿನಗಳ ಕಾಲ ಫ್ಯಾಕಲ್ಟಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಲಾಯಿತು. ನಿರ್ದೇಶಕರಾದ ಶ್ರೀ ಪ್ರಸನ್ನ ವಿ ರಾಜು ಅವರು ಹಾಗೂ ಪ್ರಾಂಶುಪಾಲರಾದ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ದೇವಿಕಾ ಎಸ್ ಅಜಿಲ ಮೇಡಂ ಅವರ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದಂತಹ 2 ದಿನದ ಫ್ಯಾಕಲ್ಟಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಸಿ ಬಸವರಾಜು, ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಉಪಕುಲಪತಿಗಳು, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಕಾನೂನು ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯ ಹುಬ್ಬಳ್ಳಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಟಿ.ಆರ್. ಸುಬ್ರಹ್ಮಣ್ಯ, ಡೀನ್ ಸಿಎಂಆರ್ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯ, ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೀಗಲ್ ಸ್ಟಡೀಸ್ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಇವರುಗಳ ಉಪಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಿಂದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಮೆರುಗು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿತ್ತು.
To inculcate legal education to the students in particular and society in general. You may be surprised to know that every institution, educational institutions, including the universities, we do find there is a scarcity of human resource. Human resource is the fundamental for the development of any educational system.
That great advocate, Nani Palkewala, considered himself as a student of constitutional law. In one of the speeches, he referred to himself as a student of constitutional law. From that period onwards, all the constitutional experts started considering themselves as students of constitutional law. And a teacher is a student always. And there is a wonderful statement by one scholar, Amos. If you are not learning while teaching, you are not teaching. So if I am teaching today, I should learn something. If I am not learning while teaching, I am not teaching. You see, when I read this, I noted down in my head, there cannot be any better statement than this, which gives a clear message to the teachers.
I joined police in 94 and I was working in Mysore till 2000. So I was working where sir was the area where the Mysore University was located, Jayalakshmipuram. And we didn't have usually the contact, but some student problems were there where police had to go there, and in that particular police were not allowed also, like students were so rough and tough, so we had to penetrate into them by disguise and all that. And once it happened that there was a protest by the students and the vice chancellor sir had come, the other professors had come, it didn't settle. But we were there, present there with all the police van and everything. But sir came. Actually, I didn't know sir was, but his personality itself was speaking that the gigantic personality, like he was more strong and so he looked like police officer. I thought like some police officer in some other unit has come. But he came that, Enappa, just that words, the students were taken back. The appearance and his command there, that shook the students there, and we could feel that yes, sir is the right person to handle it, and within 2 minutes that total this one was settled there.
Professor Tarde had written one book. He is a great psychologist. Professor Tarde's work is on imitation. His book is called Imitation. In that book, the first chapter of the book, the title of the first chapter is The Law of Imitation. You see, even in imitation also he mentioned that it is the law of imitation. ನೋಡಿ, ಅದರ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಚಾಪ್ಟ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳೋದು ಲಾ ಆಫ್ ಇಮಿಟೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಬಂಡಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಮಿಟೇಷನ್. ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಲಾ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಬಂಡಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಮಿಟೇಷನ್. ರೈಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಟೈಯಿಂಗ್ ಯುವರ್ ಶೂ ಲೇಸ್ ಅಪ್ ಟು ಕೂಂಬಿಂಗ್ ಯುವರ್ ಏರ್, we imitate one or the other in our life. Man is a bundle of imitation. ಸಣ್ಣ ಮಗುನೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಮಗು. ನಾವು ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೇಲಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳೆಲ್ಲ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ನೋಡ್ತವೆ, ನಾವು ಓದ್ತಾ ಕೂತಿದ್ರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳೆಲ್ಲ ಓದೋದನ್ನು ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತವೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಹಾಗೆ ಅಂದರೆ ದೇ ಇಮಿಟೇಟರ್ಸ್. ಅದನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೌ ಯು ಪರ್ಸೀವ್ ದ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್.
If you are not studying jurisprudence, if you are not studying legal theory, if you not understand the sources of law, you are a failure as a law. If you are not able to distinguish between rule and a regulation, an article and a section, the most important source of law, whether custom, whether legislation, whether precedent, what is reserved is end, then I told actually this happened. A few years back I had been to High Court chamber to invite Honorable Justice Krishna Dikshit sir for one of moot court function. ಹೋದೆ, ಅವರು ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಲಾಟ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್. ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅವ್ರು ನಿಂತೇ ಇದ್ರು, ಈ ಥರ ಒಂದು ಟೇಬಲ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಿಂತಿದ್ರು. ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ಲಿ ಸೆಡ್ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ಜೂರಿಸ್ಪ್ರುಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಬುಕ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಬಾರ್ಡನ್ಹೈಮರ್ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ಜೂರಿಸ್ಪ್ರುಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಾರ್ಡನ್ಹೈಮರ್ ಜೂರಿಸ್ಪ್ರುಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಯಾಕೆ ತರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನಾ ಖುಷಿ. ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಇದು ಡಬಲ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಡಬಲ್ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಬಂದಿದೆ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರು. ಯುರೇಖಾ ಎಸ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಡೇ ಹೋಗಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ದೇ ವರ್ ಸೋ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೈರ್ಡ್. ಐ ಸೆಡ್ ಈವನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎ ಜಡ್ಜ್ the true elements of law are important, otherwise he will not be able to make a distinction what is double capacity, what is double personality. Then they dig deep, what is ownership, what is possession. Possession first, ownership next. Ownership first, possession. You ask them to define what is possession, what is ownership, most of them will fail.
2 ದಿನಗಳ ಕಾಲ ನಡೆದ ಫ್ಯಾಕಲ್ಟಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನ ವಿವಿಧ ಕಾನೂನು ಕಾಲೇಜಿನಿಂದ ಆಗಮಿಸಿದ್ದ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸಕರು ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಬಿಂದುವಾಗಿ ಗಮನ ಸೆಳೆದರು. ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನ ಲಾ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಪ್ರಾಂಶುಪಾಲರಾದ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ದೇವಿಕಾ ಎಸ್ ಅಜಿಲ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದಂತಹ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಯಶಸ್ವಿಯಾಗಿ ಮೂಡಿಬಂತು. ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನ ವಿವಿಧ ಲಾ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರು, ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಲ್ಗೊಂಡು 2 ದಿನಗಳ ಕಾಲ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಯಶಸ್ವಿಗೊಳಿಸಿದರು. ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಕಾನೂನು ಪದವಿ ಓದುತ್ತಿರುವ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಉಪಯುಕ್ತವಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಹಾಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರು ಕೂಡ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಲ್ಗೊಂಡು ಸದುಪಯೋಗವನ್ನು ಪಡೆದುಕೊಂಡರು.
I will also raise my hand along with you, and so many people also must have. Now, have you seen there is this one beautiful thing which is there on the Shirdi? It says, "Why fear when I'm here?" Correct? Now, isn't it the same thing that Google is telling all of us? Why fear when I'm there? What do you require? Anything that you require is there on Google, right? You don't even have to worry because Google is there. Now, just understand, if you require any topic on land laws, if you require any topic on arbitration, if you require any topic on mediation, isn't it so easy for anybody to just go to Google and tell me what is it that you require? Right from PPTs to TED notes to notes to international lawyers to international academicians, everything you get on Google. If everything is available on Google, what is our relevance when we get into the classroom? Why should anybody listen to you? Why should anybody invest our time in us? Now, unless there is an ROI, that is, unless there is a return on investment, nobody needs to do it. Even if they sit down, they might sit down for attendance with their mind completely off. The physical form will be there, but the mental form will be somewhere else.
Imparting of knowledge from teacher to the pupil. Okay? Why do we impart that knowledge? He becomes knowledgeable. Why do we impart that knowledge? There are various dimensions from which what is education is looked at. What shall be the purpose of education is looked at. There was a time when purpose of education was simply gnanarjana, pursuit of wisdom. Is the purpose of education anymore the pursuit of wisdom? Certainly not. It has become a tool to secure our career. It has become a tool to secure our earning of wealth and so on, isn't it? So the education, you like it or dislike it, you call it fortunately or unfortunately, has to be fitted to help people make their livelihood out of it, help them earn more and more revenue out of it. Is that indeed the purpose of education? If you go etymologically, if you go philosophically, if you go its evolutionary meaning of it, I think Swami Vivekananda said it right, that education, the purpose of education is figuring out the man in the human.
You should have three qualities. Now the first one is heuristics. Heuristics simply means collect the sources. See, unless you collect the sources, you cannot read. So when you feel satisfied that all the sources are at your disposal, you start looking at it. That is heuristics. Then the second one is criticism. Now there cannot be anything in research unless you criticize. But then criticism should not be for the sake of criticism alone. There are some scholars who go to the extent of criticizing, and ultimately they are not in a position to speak anything of theirs. That should not happen. Now the third important thing is to provide a meaning to the topic. Now when we speak of meaning, there is a book written by a great scholar which is called as Meaning of Meaning. Just go through that and then you come to know what exactly the meaning of a subject.
TV12 ಕನ್ನಡ ಇದು ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರ ಧ್ವನಿ.